Hi, this is Little Dwarf playing games while rambling incoherently into a microphone. Why? Well, just because I can. And I continue with Disco Elysium, Blind. Buzz, hum, the electricity flows through the wires with audible power. I'm still exploring this other side of the canal. Someone must have worked hard to smash the plastic dome.
A metal payphone under a yellow plastic dome. You could use it to call someone, unless you're out of change. You hear the tone. The machine is inoperable.
Dial a random number. Oh, it's only 10 cents, so I might as well.
Calling. Still calling. This feels wrong. Should you be doing this? End of tone. Someone picks up.
Pierre? Is that you, Pierre?
No, this is not Pierre. The voice of a female, and the voice is female and sounds about 100 years old. This is not Pierre.
Do you have any news about Pierre?
Who is Pierre?
He's my sister's grandson. He used to visit me as a lad. Fine young man. But who are you then? A salesman of some sort? Modern goods are rubbish, and I can't afford them anyhow. It's a shame what you did to our country.
The woman moans at the phone lines, howl in unison with her. I know I'm a police officer.
To hell with the police. To hell with you.
Her voice is drowned in white noise. Sounds like waves washing a beach, growing in volume until the call suddenly disconnects. You get a sinking feeling. It makes you look if Lieutenant Kitsuragi overheard you. To your relief, he did not.
A dead phone, smashed receiver, like someone hung up too hard. Yeah, but what's up with the running though? That's mostly what interests me. Relax, it's not yours. You didn't crush every MC in Revachel. Hopefully. Okay, this doesn't seem to work, to be honest. Neither does running, for that matter. The schoolfish huddle around the fence post, then scatter into the dark. Okay, that's the church. I guess I might visit it. You feel the shadow of a very large building fall on you. Dusty pews in the shadows. Many seem to be missing. An altar shrouded in the dark, or something like that. It's too dark to tell. The sign reads, St. Bern, 1147.
Heavy wooden doors, more than twice your height, stand shut in front of you. The rectangular sea-worn ornamentation appears in stark contrast to the padlock, carelessly drilled into the wood.
Inspect the carpentry.
The carving on the door is block-like and angular, like the church itself. Two large beams shoot downwards, sinking into the wood before they reach the threshold.
Run your hand over a beam.
The surface is smooth from the wind, but moist to the touch.
Inspect the staple.
The padlock passes through a staple that's been hastily attached to the wood. Closer inspection reveals that one of the screws is not a screw at all, but a nail. The work has been done recently and is unprofessional, to say the least. Should you want to get through, it might be easier to just pry the whole thing off.
Not yet.
This cheap-looking padlock is sturdily built. It shackles together a hasp and a staple screwed into the wooden door. The lock is adorned with a yellow sticker.
Look at the sticker.
You see a yellow circle with two X's and a big curve below them that looks like a mouth. You're pretty sure you haven't seen it before, but what the symbol depicts is clear enough. A smiling dead guy. The curve makes it smile, and the X's make it dead. There is something blindingly modern about this symbol. Its modernness puts to shame everything you've seen before.
What makes it so modern?
It's the contrast between the cheery, chemical yellow and the rigor mortis. As if the cheery guy didn't know he was dead, or the dead guy didn't care that he was. Either way, you get the sense the forces of future are at work here. These forces of future have chosen to pick something that reminds you of you.
Have you seen this symbol before?
He takes off his glasses and uses a blue handkerchief to thoroughly wipe them clean before inspecting the sticker. Then he looks up, pauses, and replies.
No.
What does it look like to you?
Looks like a dead man smiling. Suggests junior delinquency.
What is suggestive of junior delinquency here?
I haven't seen that sticker before, and I'm not a youth.
I agree, it's very modern, but what does the cheer guy don't know he's dead, or does the dead guy not care that he is? What is the source of the irony here?
That level of conceptual thinking is not part of my skill set.
Try to peel off the sticker without ripping it.
There's nothing like the sound of a sticker unpeeling. Now it's stuck to your thumb.
I guess I might put it in my ledger because it might be useful for something. Like maybe it's connected to something later on. Put it in your ledger after the last entry.
Looks like today was a gold star day.
Rattle the doors to see if they open.
Nothing happens, only the sound of the padlock rattling against the door.
I don't think that's going to work.
I'm not going to break
If you
in.
really think we should get in there, we need to find some other way.
Where do you think we should start?
Can you hear the pulsing bass underneath the east wind? A sure sign of junior delinquency.
I might get in there, but probably later. To be honest, I am a little annoyed by the lack of running. It must have taken a lot of patience to do this.
A shaggy-looking girl in her late teens or early 20s kneels on the ice with an electronic contraption in her hand. Hearing you approach, she looks up.
Oh, hello there.
It's cold out here, but she's not wearing a hat. She must be freezing.
Dear child, it's freezing. Where's your hat?
Huh?
He looks at you distracted. I said you should have a hat on.
So should you.
Well, I do have a hat on, actually. I should, and I do. Point at your hat.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
It's nice. You should wear one too, if your plan is staying outside in this weather.
Yeah, well... Look man, fuck the hat.
Regain authority in her eyes. Yeah, probably not going to happen. Is that kind of language really necessary?
I'm sorry I said fuck the hat. I was concentrating on something else. My whole family swears and it rubbed off on me.
There's a pained expression on her face. She'll answer your questions now. What is your name?
Acele.
And your surname?
Why?
I'm from the police, it's for the paperwork.
Okay, it's Burger.
A very common name.
What's that device you have here?
This is a portable recording device. It's for field recording. Low quality, but still.
She breathes on her freezing fingers. And the wires?
Actually, just one wire. I picked on it till the braiding came loose. The wire leads to a contact microphone.
What's a contact microphone?
A contact mic records sounds from inside things, like this ice.
Your mangled brain would like you to know there is a boxer called Contact Mike.
What? What am I supposed to do with this?
No idea.
Does this have anything to do with Contact Mike?
Yeah, I record stuff with it.
Forget it.
Sure.
How does this thing work?
The mic? I don't exactly know. Somehow it doesn't pick up vibrations from the air. The book said it only picks up structure-born sound, if you like technobabble.
Where did you get it from?
Same place I got the recorder from, the Palaceum.
What's the Palaceum?
Oh man, you haven't been to the Palaceum? It's the coolest place in this whole drug-addled shithole.
She forgets herself for a moment.
It's a music club and a synthesizer workshop on Boogie Street in Jamrock. Musicians live there, like real musicians. I once saw Arno van Eyck.
Thinking about it really cheers her up. It's a long way from here, though.
Sounds interesting. Who is this Arno guy?
Oh yeah, guess you wouldn't know Van Eyck. Or really be a Palaceum going kind of person.
I get down from time to time, as evidenced by the start of this game.
I don't know what that means.
I grind.
I don't know what that means either.
Yeah, neither do I, but I do have concrete evidence that I rock, in the form of a wrecked tape player and a completely trashed hotel room.
That's cool.
She breathes on her fingers. Looks like she doesn't know what to say. Well, never mind.
Sure. Okay.
What are you doing here in the cold?
Recording, I guess.
And what are you what is it that you're recording exactly?
I think I'm recording cracks in the ice. But there's no way to tell. Not without headphones. I think I just recorded your footsteps too. Not sure how that will sound.
What happened to the headphones?
My boyfriend sold them.
What for?
I don't know, man. Things. Just stuff you need for life.
A lie. They were probably pawned off for something suspicious.
And what are these recording for?
The musicians in the Palaceum used them for making music. They looped the stuff, cutting the tapes together. They make music out of cracks in the ice and keys jangling. Crazy sounds like that. It's hard to explain.
Alright.
Anyway, I thought I'd make some too. It's supposed to be, like, a music place anyway.
She rubs her shoulders and looks around.
I don't really know what I'm doing. They use synthesizers too. I don't have a synthesizer.
She looks at the recording device. The thing she thought would fill her hours with joy and escape. It's turning out to be an empty fantasy. She feels childish. Very useless all of a sudden.
Take this, you're called.
The lieutenant begins to take off his jacket.
No man, fuck that, I'm cool. I'm sorry I said that. I'm sorry about the fuck.
It's okay.
You said it's supposed to be music, a music place. What is?
That? The boys think it could be a place, like the Palaceum or something. Stupid. It's really not gonna be a Palaceum, that's for sure.
The boys?
Yeah. Andre and the guys, they're inside, in the tent.
And why is that?
Why are you freezing out here while the boys are inside?
They got too much stuff crammed in there. No room.
Stuff like what?
Music stuff, mostly. like this tape recorder, but bigger. And there's piles of it.
Why don't they just leave some of it outside so that you don't have to freeze?
That stuff is more expensive than I am. More expensive than any of us, really. Doesn't matter. I can take the cold.
It's probably amphetamine. It makes you feel impervious to the elements, but doesn't actually make you any less cold.
Why can you take it?
I got my recordings to do. I feel better outside.
A wave breaks close by and covers her in cold spray. I can give her my hat. I have a couple of hats to choose from. Here, you need this more than I do.
Thanks.
She puts it on. It's a bit large for her. I have other questions.
Go ahead.
Tell me more about this music place you've been planning in the church.
It's supposed to become like a club for anodic dance music, like that new style of synthesizer stuff they play at the Palaceum. Except that, yeah.
She looks at the old wooden church on the poles. As mean wind comes bellowing in, the 6-story structure lets out a doleful shriek. What is anodic dance music?
You know, anodic, cathodic, music that's made with electronic instruments.
Like what?
Synthesizers and tape consoles. Microcomputers too. Anything that uses electricity, but isn't guitars. Also found sounds, stuff like that.
You see clear, beautiful, violent flashes of light. Light cutting through a smoke-filled darkness. That is what the future will look like, if it ever comes. This is an evolutionary step up from amplified instruments, which in turn are a step up from acoustic instruments. What comes after it, you wonder? A black-tinted nothingness, or something finer?
So you want to turn the church into a club?
I know. It's not my idea. Andre and the boys found the place. It was supposed to be deserted, but now they can't even take it. Hey, don't get me wrong, but you're cops, right?
Yes. Why do you ask?
Okay, well, maybe you could talk to Andre and the guys, because there are some strange things going on in that church. If you're police, you should look into it, right?
I'll talk to them.
They're inside that thing there. Would be cool if you did. Was there something else?
Did you put the padlock on the church door?
No.
No.
Not really, no.
She's trying to get out of a direct lie with semantic tricks. She personally didn't put the padlock on the door.
Show her the sticker, so this isn't yours?
It's Noid's.
Is this Noid a friend of yours?
Yeah, I guess you could say that.
And why did he put a padlock on the door?
To keep more weirdos from getting in. Fucking Martinez. I'm sorry. It's got the worst weirdos. If you get around to it, ask Andre about him, he'll tell ya.
Enough about the church.
Go ahead.
The tape recorder lies on the ice like a discarded toy. Pick it up. But what do you mean pick it up? Do you mean steal it?
The device is still warm from her touch and heavy as a brick from the batteries inside. The company logo, Omicron, adorns its yellow plastic cover. Inside, the tape is rolling. The girl looks at the device in your hands.
I'm sorry you have to sit here on the ice feeling miserable, at your age or any age, in this weather, waiting for it to get dark.
She looks you in the eye, her pupils wide, surrounded by a ridiculous amount of makeup.
The people who built this world intended to be better for you, but they failed. It is easier to live in the failure with this by your side. Tap on the tape recorder. Is that just a... Am I giving myself a pep talk to steal it?
The wind howls. She remains silent. It's real. Tell her.
It's not a childish fantasy. It can be a real weapon against what's coming for you now.
What is?
Nothing. What? Where is this even going? Nothing if you've got this. Don't be scared.
Okay, I'll stick to it.
Her teeth rattle. She takes the device from you and places it in her lap.
Something changes between you two. She looks at you differently now. As an equal. A fellow human being.
So thanks, I guess, for the psych session. Maybe I can return it. What's been eating you, officer?
You said eating me. There's nothing eating me.
Come on, I can tell. But, okay. Be a boyadero about it if you want to.
She shakes her head. I guess there is something that's been making my life hell.
What is it?
People just keep putting their selfish interests ahead of the greater good. Everyone's just mooching off of the entrepreneurial class. All of those are highly radical political ideas. I was thinking more about along the lines of, I don't know what my life is. I have forgotten everything I ever knew. But out of those... Out of those, I guess I would say everyone's just mooching off the entrepreneurial class. As I said, of the political extremes presented in this game, I'm probably closer to being the ultra-liberal, even though I am actually much more reserved about it than I used to be in my younger years. I used to be a full-on sort of worshipper of the free market who thought that, ruthlessly privatizing everything and taking no prisoners is the way. I no longer think that. But I guess it's everyone just mooching off the entrepreneurial class, shackling the doers.
Oh, really?
Yeah, people just can't get off their asses. Zero hireable talent in the city. Zero. No wonder everyone's poor as potatoes. Now, again, that's a little too much, maybe, but I have chosen my lane, I guess.
So, the thing that's been eating you is rich people not having enough money?
No, that's not it.
No, it sounds like you just got chick issues.
Well, to be honest, I found these letters I'd thrown down the trash. They might have something to do with it.
Okay. Why do you think that?
First, they were written in a woman's hand, and oh boy, did reading them make me not feel good.
There you have it then, chick trouble. Not political after all. Who was she?
I don't remember.
Really? You seem to be pretty upset about this chica. Are you sure you don't remember anything about her?
I remember her scent, and that's all.
Wow, man. That's some pretty strange shit. Are you sure the letters were for you?
I'm sure. Why else would I have reacted so strongly?
How come you don't remember, though? Is it like some selective memory thing?
I think it's more about me getting so unbelievably drunk that I completely erased all of my memory of this world.
Yeah, or it might be that. This one time I did so much booze that I forgot too.
It's obvious she's done more than booze.
Or it might just be some psych bullshit, Königstein wank.
Königstein wank?
The psych thing they've got going on there. Rich people like it. People in Königstein are mostly rich.
I'm not sure I'm not sure this made things any better. But thank you for trying, I guess. Thanks.
You're welcome. Might be for the best to keep that shit forgotten, though. Just my opinion. If it itches, don't scratch.
She thinks for a second, scratching her jaw.
Okay, bye.
The bow collector. It's early in the morning. The world is dark blue. The sparks light her face, a delicate composition of triangles. The streets seem to grow longer, like in a dolly zoom. And there's something in the air as you stand there and wave back at the shapes growing smaller and smaller. Something that has always been there. A great see-through world. The tenderness you feel. The ghost of Revachol between you, carrying your signals. The holy messenger.
Plus 3 shivers. Interesting.
Wow, you work hard.
I do?
Oh, yes. You hustle. You're a provider. It's tough out there, but you keep it real and provide.
What hard work do I do exactly?
Look at yourself. You're a human pedometer. You must have walked 200,000 steps down cracked asphalt, mosaic, sand, and linoleum after you re-emerged. That is the sign of a hustler who never gives up. The world is harsh and people are evil. You didn't make it that way, and you won't let it break you. You ride.
I guess I ride. A little.
A little. You make money. You got gills, baby. Got those black papers with the faces of the innocents on them. You bring in the Franco-Negros and the Solas. It ain't easy, but you do it. Day in and day out. You didn't make the rules, but you won't lose. You're a cop, and a sprinter, and a money printer.
And then there's pawning stuff off to that suspicious Roy guy.
Yeah, you're in the sales business. Shake 'em for shit and then pawn it off. Law officer style.
I guess I've made some gills, sure.
Sure. And has it been easy? Is life easy? Have you not gone into cardiac arrest? Are you not about to have an anxiety attack or shoot yourself in the mouth? But you still hustle 24/7, ride or die. Now, ask yourself, are you rich?
Not quite.
That's right. You work harder than anyone. You almost rode yourself to the grave and you're still practically a hobo. Why is that?
There's a market for corrupt cops, but immigrant cops have price tagged it. I don't know. Why am I so poor?
Because of the taxes. G-Man's got his jam-covered sticky fingers in your pocket, stealing from you every time you buy, sell, walk, talk, fart, so much as sneeze. Aren't taxes almost non-existent in the Gossamer state that is Revachol?
I thought there were no taxes.
You and I both, but they got those indirect modes of taxation. Sales tax, excise duty, extraction tax. This tax that doesn't even have a name. Plus, there's the stuff people in other countries pay for that makes them ask for more money from you here. The Gossamer state's a myth. In total, the coalition government is taking 98% of all your money.
Are you sure? This seems like a pretty large number.
What are you not sure about? They're milking your nipples till they bleed. Can't you see? Aren't you sick and tired of having bloody nipples?
Yeah, I get, a little, as I said. Out of all of the options presented, I'm probably the closest to that, but I'm no longer 100% drunk on the free market. The world is overall a little too complicated for being 100% into thinking a single particular idea is suddenly going to fix everything. But bleeding nipples are kind of a pain. How will the regulation help with that, though? Opt in, but only a little.
It's all about the tax issue, hustler. No other problem in the world is as pressing as top marginal tax rates. And don't you fucking forget it.
Indirect modes of taxation, you say? Yeah, I am going to think on that. First, you have a side bitch ideology cooking somewhere, don't sweat it. Fighting indirect taxation for the Gossamer state is compatible with all creeds. It's cool like that. You're a cool anarchist now, unless you don't want to be an anarchist, whatever. Stuff this meal ticket in your... Stuff this meal ticket in your eye socket, and let's see if we can steal some love back from the robber barons at the Customers Agency and the banditos at the Insul Indian Financial Oversight and Competition Committee. Yeah, let's think someone there. I guess there's still this thought. But I will hold off on this for a while. Because I might need the skill points for upgrading my actual skills, which I haven't done in a while.
A pane of eternite has been planted into the snow. 2 poles are holding it up. Barely holding it up. It could fall over any minute. A stronger gust of wind might be enough.
What is this?
It looks like a makeshift bridge. Could be convenient.
The lieutenant adjusts his collar against the cool breeze. I'll leave it for now. A more tribalistic markings, this post is covered in little humanoids. A pole screwed into the ice keeps the tent erect. Trash from some unending party. This is someone's home away from home, just like yours.
The tent is just tarpaulin fabric covering a pile of stuff. The flap is open. Inside, 3 young men, all in forward-looking apparel, reminiscent of the sticker on the padlock, are listening to some new form of music. It's like nothing you've ever heard. One of them looks at you.
Come on, get in and close the flap behind you. The warm stuff's getting out. Sorry, we barely have room for one.
He points his thumb at the lieutenant.
You go ahead. I'm too old for this.
I'm actually not, he thinks. I just dislike delinquents.
I'm sure you will feel right at home. I'll keep watch.
A speaker, the big kind they use for live music.
A young man with peroxide blonde hair holds up a Harman Welshi tape player, nodding along to the music. He looks at you with a knowing smile and says, as though you're supposed to be sharing some tremendous evangelical secret.
Hardcore!
Is it?
It's hardcore!
You just keep going. You just keep saying it's hardcore, aren't you?
Skibbity, skibber danger. I am the rearranger.
Could there have been a right way out of this garden of forking paths, you think? The young man with the tape recorder acknowledges your return. When he looks at you, he squints as though you were the setting sun.
This is hardcore. Hardcore! Hardcore to the mega. Internally coherent. All car! All right! Yeah!
He furrows his brow as his very large head traces the sublime invisible movement of the music in the very real air of the stuffy tent.
Hardcore! Ah!
He lets out an agonized roar over the feverish, obviously not so hardcore, not too hardcore beat below. No, but seriously, I'm a little worried it isn't.
The question is, what is the question?
Well, that would have been good if I had asked you a question, but I didn't. Now it's just idiotic.
But there was a question?
Was there though?
Back to the heavyweight jam. Hardcore! It's hardcore! Skibbity, skibber danger.
Well, I must have...
The club, true, hardcore! Hardcore to the mega. Internally coherent.
I was wondering if you knew who killed the mercenary behind the Whirling in Rags hostel.
Good morning, yeah! 1, 2, 3, Yekokata, the place to be!
But Yekokata is a catastrophe zone, a desolate wasteland. It can't be the place to be.
Yekokata is a hardcore place!
An intricate system of irrigation networks pockmarking the earth. Intermittent seas of phosphorus mud, ripped tarpaulin fluttering in the wind. A pair of molten rubber boots also comes to mind. All in all, a truly hardcore place. You see a youngish man bleaching the tips of his hair with a toothbrush. He puts the toothbrush down and extends his hand in greeting.
Hello, I'm Andre. It's a pleasure to meet you.
There is definitely something futuristic about his hair, aggressively so. You get the sense that this is what the future will look like. Imbecilic. Yes, should the future ever come, it will look deeply imbecilic, like this guy.
Shake his hand.
His grip is strong, sweaty, and warm. He's trying to project and inspire confidence.
This is my posse, Noid.
The young man with earrings looks at you suspiciously.
And Egghead. Egg!
The tape player high above his head continues to blast what is probably Nordic music.
Together with Acele Burger, who's out there right now, doing some seriously progressive sonic experimentation, we like to think of ourselves as music venue organisers.
How many music venues have you organized?
We have many in the pipeline, officer.
That means they haven't set up a single one yet.
Why are you here?
You see, we've been all over Jamrock North, prospecting for real estate to establish a new venue in.
Also for talent.
Yeah, thank you, Egghead. And while there is no shortage of raw, unfettered talent spinning tapes in Jamrock, we've had rotten luck with the real estate part.
Place is a shithole.
I apologise for my friend Noid's potty mouth. I realise this is not how you speak to a police officer. He has authority issues.
Was there something you wanted? Your friend Acele said there was a problem with the church.
Oh, so you've met her? Good. Yeah, it's a matter of occupied ecclesiastical property. I bet you've noticed the derelict hive of narcomania on the coast.
An attempt to pander to your perceived conservative sensibilities. No person his age would ever use a word like narcomania with a straight face. Don't fall for it.
Enough histrionics, what are you talking about?
I'm talking about the church, and I'm not exaggerating. Even a place of spiritual refuge can become a magnet for all sorts of dopeheads and burnouts if left unattended.
Dopeheads, burnouts.
He angrily spits the screw, then starts cleaning it. Spits on a screw, then starts cleaning it.
Well, I'm sad to say, that's exactly what happened. Sad because we were just about to put Martinez on the map with one of the maddest dance clubs in Jamrock. Nah, strike that, in Revershol.
Strike that, the word.
And sadder yet, because the dopeheads and burnouts holed up in there are the worst kind.
He leans back a little, watching you with a steady, serious gaze, letting you imagine just how bad those dopeheads and burnouts really are. Good. This calls for an opinion. You're an expert in those.
I feel you may be laying this on a bit thick. What's really so bad about those dopeheads and burnouts?
They're spooky.
What do you mean by spooky exactly?
I was hoping you would be the judge of that, officer. All I can say is, their spookiness is the kind that keeps us from restoring this church into a community centre and a place of spiritual refuge.
Also, they don't eat or clean the building. Shit's gonna collapse. People just wanna spin tapes without them spooking it up. Place has bad signs. No one can dance like that.
Thank you, Egghead. So you're gonna look into it, right? It should be a police matter. Getting them out. Whatever spooky stuff they're doing, I'm sure it's not what the Ecclesiastes meant their property for.
I'll look into it.
All right, man.
He claps his hands enthusiastically.
Andre's obviously very happy you took him seriously. The whole tent is. The boys exchanged giddy looks.
Acele told me Noid put the padlock on the door. Why?
I did ask Noid to install a measure against more drifters wandering in. It's a temporary fix, just something to contain the situation.
I had to do it in an hurry. Not my best work, but it should hold for a while.
I need the key.
Of course. Noid, give the officer the key.
All right.
Be the cool cop, catch the key as it flies towards you. I'll try.
It's as if time is frozen somehow. You think you can sense the key moving in the air. Yeah, this is going to be way cool.
Don't ruin the cool by overdoing it. Raise your hand in front of your face with minimum effort. Okay, I got smacked with the key.
Slam! Straight in the eye. Straight in the old eye orb. In the looking ball. A stabbing pain. Tears stream uncontrollably from your right eye.
Ouch, goddamn asshole, what is wrong with you?
Man, I'm super sorry. That was totally my bad. I got overexcited. Threw him too hard. I'm sorry.
He looks like he's genuinely sorry. He didn't throw them better.
Okay, I would like to accept his contrition, but I guess I can't. He almost murdered me, a cop, that's use of lethal force.
I really am sorry, man. Just take this, okay?
He pulls some black paper from his belt bag.
Wow, looks like there's quite a lot there.
I don't know your I don't need your pity money. Now, where were we?
The key?
He is shifting in his spot, uncomfortably, still feeling sorry for the mishap.
We were talking about the padlock, I think.
Are there people locked in there?
Not long. Like a week, maybe?
What? I thought you locked it after they left so that they won't come back. How can you be sure they haven't starved to death?
I'm super sure they're alive. I mean, come on. I'm at least 90%, maybe 85% sure they're still alive.
Somewhere in the ruinous past that led you here, there was something called exams. You may have learned the term involuntary manslaughter there.
Andre, do you know what involuntary manslaughter means?
Yes, I do. I listen to Channel 8 all the time. I know about crime stuff, and I assure you, officer, this is not what's happening here. I'm at least 80% sure they're alive. I mean, come on. Most people aren't ever that alive in their entire lives.
That sounds like nonsense. You could die of thirst in a week, possibly.
You're right. It is nonsense. Total garbage. I knew you'd see through it. You're one smart cop.
It feels good to be the smart cop, doesn't it? That's a good cop to be. Has a nice ring to it. Smart cop. You wouldn't want to be stupid cop, now would you? But still, maybe he's just sucking up to you.
You can stop buttering me up now, thank you.
Oh, okay. I won't do that anymore. Sure, man. Tell us what you want to know. Let's do it.
Who exactly are these people inside the church?
Truth is, I don't really know. None of us do. I don't even know how many there are. All we've seen are glimpses.
You haven't even seen them and you want the police involved.
Well, there's also the machinery.
This machinery is of the deeply mystical variety.
When I first scouted the place, back in February, it was abandoned, empty. Took some time getting the crew together. So about 2 weeks ago, we came here hoping to set the stuff up. Suddenly, there are all these strange machines lying around in there.
One of them has wires running into bowls of water. Wires into water. Never seen anything like it.
Andre, tell him about the feeling.
Oh, and it felt like there was something in there with us, watching us from the dark.
No, the other one.
Which other one? I'm not as in tune with my emotions as you are, Egg.
Felt like silence. Awful silence.
For this man, even regular silence is awful enough. But that was something greater.
But you haven't physically seen anyone.
Not exactly. We've just seen someone who we think is a woman go in and out of the church. A couple of times. And we felt someone or something eyeing us inside. But that's kinda it.
And what was that thing watching you?
Like you aren't alone, you know?
It wasn't quite human, if you know what I mean.
Not human, as in a ghost. Do you know what he means?
It was this dark shape climbing upside down along the ceiling, like some kind of crabman.
Crabman?
Yeah, you know, the way it was climbing up and around the ceiling, like a crab.
It was stalking Acele, exhibiting ambush behaviour.
Odd. Crabs are usually marine creatures, and not known for climbing walls.
Are you sure there was a crabman?
Yeah, totally. I mean, I didn't personally see it. Acele was alone that time, but I believe her. If she comes out running and says there's a crab in there, there's a crab in there.
You should ask her about it, but be nice. Don't tell her you don't believe in the crab.
The implications of this are too numerous to consider. Proceed with caution. Learn all you can before entering that dark building. There probably is no crab man. Don't let them draw you in with this nonsense.
Can you tell me more about the machinery?
You should talk to Noid about that. I just got a distinct burnout and dopehead sign from them. Probably jacked up to some snuff station too. Probably, very likely.
How can you be sure they are burnouts and dopeheads if you haven't even seen them?
Well, honestly, I can't. But I am.
This is a below-feeble attempt at avoidance. Basically, he is attempting to weaponize idiocy.
Wow, you can't, but you do. I should add weaponized idiocy to my own repertoire.
Hey now, I'm 70% sure they're substance abusers. Don't let all that technology fool you. Where do you think the drugs come from? Sure. What?
What's the deal with Egghead? I want to talk to him.
He's a quiet man, mostly communicates through music, and by being a master of ceremonies.
Master of ceremonies?
You know, a host, a declaimer of slogans. He's a performer, gets the people going.
Interesting, sire. A bit like you then. An MC for short.
How do you communicate with him?
Well, he's just kinda here. I don't really know how to communicate with him.
Have you ever really talked to him?
Yeah, sometimes. When I stumble and find my way into his center, you have to hear a lot of hardcore to the mega first though.
The man smiles mysteriously, choosing to let the beat speak for itself.
You mentioned some kind of ecclesiastes own the church. Who are they?
Oh yeah, that's a meteor and name for the founding party. Thought it'd be cool to use it.
If you don't know what the founding party is, there might be a way to mask it with minor demagoguery.
Oh, the founding party. I do know them, but... can you refresh my memory?
Come to think of it, I've never really looked them up, you know. I can't give you a precise definition, but they're a very powerful religious organization.
And?
And they have roots in ancient mass society. And they're the custodians of the Pericarnassian Church. Plus, they anoint the innocents. They, made the innocentic system, no?
It doesn't sound like they would appreciate a dance club in their church.
You're totally wrong about that.
He shakes his head.
The Pericarnassian Church is about love, and Nordic music is about love. I got love for my Pericarnassian posse. Love is the relay out of death. We dance!
He violently shakes the tape player as if to see if he can break it.
Love is hardcore!
Unity! Unity!
Make some noise for my Insulindian posse!
He turns the volume up with a knowing nod, as if it's obvious he will now break into dance. I don't quite understand what you're talking about. What's a posse?
Your posse's like your people, man. Like you got your cup posse. You look out for each other and you party together. That's a posse.
And where is your posse, detective? Nothing comes to you. The world is silent.
Yeah, I don't think anyone would want loud disco music in the church. If it's an active church, I don't think so.
That's pretty downbeat. I think I speak for all of us when I say we expected the law to be more open to the idea of love, unity, and the Pericarnassian posse.
Well, I'm sorry the law doesn't share your vision.
Well, we're sorry too. So, you got more questions?
The one with the large head is still looking at you, nodding his head, waiting for your body to start moving. His expectation is fierce.
I wanted to ask you about this tent full of equipment.
Yes. What?
Apparently nothing.
He nods enthusiastically, no doubt a little relieved.
As always, we'll be right here, waiting patiently for the news. Yeah!
We're close. True, hard, full car. Hardcore. Hardcore to the mega. Internally coherent. All car. All right. Yeah.
He furrows his brow as his very large head traces the sublime, invisible movement of the music. in the very real air of the stuffy tent.
Hardcore! Ah!
Yeah, I guess it's so hardcore.
Is it though?
He stops dead in his tracks, tilting his head to the side. It is!
But is it? I mean, really?
The question is, what is the question?
No, but seriously, I'm a bit worried it isn't.
So I guess he's me now. He frowns and starts bobbing his head back and forth once more.
The skin on your back is crawling. For a second, you can't even hear the music anymore. There is a hawthorn tree on Rue de Saint-Gilles Lane, right next to the canal. Don't be alarmed. Everything is okay. He isn't actually worried. Everything is still super hardcore. What he probably means is, it could be even more so.
You said you were worried. What do you think is wrong with the music?
There's nothing wrong with it. I'm still in love with the hardcore. Sometimes I just feel like anodic music is in its infancy, you know? For example, take this Arno van Eyck jam I've been pumping for the last months, and will continue pumping for the rest of 51. Isn't something holding it back from being hyper? It's like it's only ultra.
I think it's super hardcore, but you're right. It's not hyper hardcore.
If anything, it sounds a bit proto, like it's not fully formed yet. You might be a moribund alcoholic and a failed cop, but you are pretty certain a thing cannot be both proto and hardcore.
It's proto, not hardcore at all.
Wow! Culture cop! I think you might be right. But how could it become hardcore then? I know it in my heart, but cannot think it in my head. If this is not hardcore, how could anything be?
Sounds suspiciously like a question. I thought the question was, what is the question?
No! This is the answer!
I'm trying to think if anything could make it hardcore.
What? Guys, there's something happening in his head.
He looks at you with customary amazement. Think even harder.
Oh yeah! He's doing it!
But you're not. This is almost certainly a matter that surpasses the limits of reason.
My imagination fails me.
I know! So does mine!
But apparently I just remembered something, and I'm the police.
Uh-huh.
Me being the police isn't going to help us, but there being a bush, it's something I've seen through the window, right? So it's not going to help us now.
Oh.
I can't help you with this right now.
Yeah!
Physical instrument. Yeah, I'm unlikely. I will just try it, because I'm unlikely to actually put points into that. Do any of my...
All right!
Why does art inspire you so much?
It does, yes, but what is art?
Excellent question. Art is a diverse range of visual, literary, auditory, and performative creativity. It's an expression of imagination and technical skill. Additionally, it's history, criticism, and pure enjoyment. In short, art is the highest form of human communication, representation, narrative, emotion, and agency intertwined.
Would I fit into the art world?
Have you looked in the mirror lately? You have the exact features of a savage art critic, with that beard and those clothes. Disheveled and prophetic. Perhaps you should try to critique architecture too.
I guess I have been feeling critical lately. I do enjoy art. To be sure, I am pretty moved by a lot of art. I consider myself to be an emotional person, and I do enjoy art. It definitely has a potential to inspire me and to make me think. So I guess I've been feeling critical lately.
Yes, you seek substance. No vapid representations and reproductions of social mores as made manifest in stuffy biennials. We're talking real, living art here. Become the art cop. Half art critic, half cop.
But don't I have to be 100% cop to get the case finished?
Quit being so indecisive. What are you going for here? Some kind of indecisive and camp aesthetic now? Strike a bold shape here. Go art or go home.
Well, if 50% art critic is what's needed to free me from road repetition, so be it. I can be a cop artist. Why not?
Exactly. It's not only your duty to only catch the criminals off the street. You must also apprehend criminals of the printing press and the gallery, the trite and derivative artists and writers of the world. Go ahead and provide savage criticisms, art cop. The world is yours to rip to pieces and reassemble.
Does anything I have improve physical instrument? No, so I'll just try it.
The large-headed youth has closed his eyes.
Good morning! Yeah! Pump it up! Pump it up! Pump it up!
You know it in your lungs where the pressure should vibrate, in your heart that's alone, and in your solar plexus where the hits should land. So does every chord animal.
And needs more bass.
What?
The young man makes a sudden move, like he's about to turn the volume down, but that would be ridiculous. And the melody. A good melody is what makes the song really stick, so you can't get it out of your head anymore.
Wow, okay. We should start with the melody. But where would we get that stuff from?
Well, nowhere. I don't know. I was thinking you would know.
I'm sorry. I don't know anything about Nordic music. I'm just the party boy. I get the people going and say it's hardcore.
He feels ashamed. He can't be of more service to the future of dance music.
I'll look into it in my spare time, I guess. It's up to the police to make the beats go harder.
The young man falls silent with appreciation. He even tries to contain his smile, as if it could hinder your investigation.
Basically, what you need to find here is a tape with some banging music on it, so that Egghead could use it to remix Fan 8's jam.
Yeah, maybe that street hawker across the pawn shop has got some tapes to sell. That's just an idea.
There is a hawthorn tree on Rue de Saint-Gislain, right next to the canal. A reel of magnetic tape is caught in its branches, like bronze ribbons blowing in the wind.
Rue Saint-Gislain, I've been there.
Oh, I know! I know this! I can tell you where it is!
St. G is the boulevard before the canal bridge. The one that takes you to the whirling in rags and the industrial harbour. It's got the lanterns and the...
I knew that! I could have said that!
And the mosaic sidewalk.
But it's all blocked with that stupid traffic jam right now. Anyway.
It feels cold.
Does it?
Anyway, that's all yours to figure out, Copman.
Copman!
So you had a talk with Andre, and now you want to discuss things with Noid. Good.
Skin shows through the holes in the Speed Freak's too large sweater. In the front of him, an open toolbox full of carpentry tools and parts.
It's good you talked to Andre first. Gave me time to get a reading on your sign. Can't really talk to people before you get a reading.
He runs his hand through his hair, which is combed back in a mock seriousness, and continues to fiddle with some gears. Sign?
Yeah, gotta compare. See if we can align.
Interesting.
I suck at socialising, man. Even now, our sign synchronisation is way off. But I'll see what I can do.
I saw a sticker on the padlock. Can you tell me anything about it?
A sticker? You mean the yellow one? Can you describe it to me?
Interesting. He wants you to describe it, though he already knows what it looks like.
Okay, it's a yellow circle, the human face with X's for eyes and a smile underneath. I think the X's mean the guy is dead.
Good. What did you want to know?
Was I right?
Yes, you're the 23rd person to get it right. And I've asked 23 people. Looks like it's a dead guy smiling to the entire human race.
Why do you think that's so?
We're all the same. Same eyes, same smiles, same death.
Okay, so what does it mean?
He defeated history. We are living in the age of history, and in the eyes of history, we are always already dead. How can we ever smile then? Because history is a lie, and so are its deaths. The present moment and life are the hardcore. The hardcore expels death. Or maybe he's not dead. Maybe he's just really ecstatic about the beats.
Yeah, to be honest, I don't care.
He blinks, waiting for the next question.
What makes the sticker so modern?
Simplicity was brought to us by a classical soul artist modernism, but that was a tasteful, harmonious simplicity, right? Well, hardcore is not tasteful or outwardly harmonious. It's a warning shot. This will be dangerous. The echo of man's loss, haunting him. The sticker, the clothes, the music, same thing.
You come up with this stuff by yourself?
Not alone. Many people are thinking the same thing right now. We all see the same smiling dead guy in a couple of X's in a circle, and a curve. The beat is the same for all. I guess one could write an entire treatise on the thing, but what for?
Tell me about the machines you saw in the church.
Weird stuff. Specialised. There was a data processor and some sort of long-wave machinery. Wires going into water. Gives off a spy sign. Or some fucked up Samaran science sign. You know, the kind that goes head first into the supernatural.
The People's Republic of Samara is a product of Revishal's sister revolution on the Grand Acele. It's known as a severely degenerated rogue state.
The supernatural, you think it actually exists?
Most of it doesn't exist. But there's also stuff that isn't allowed to exist. Because the moralists think it's too dangerous for the plebs. Psionic powers, pale-related diseases, pretenders pretending to be human, folk rights, that kind of stuff.
Why are you called Noid?
The hardcore aesthetic is esoteric. It's not meant to be discussed with the law at this moment.
It's not easy to reach a harmonic resonance of signs without some adjustment.
Does this mean we need sign matching?
Yes. Further sign matching would do good for us. One way to achieve this would be by getting us into the church.
What about now? Are the signs all right now?
Nah. Still strongly out of sync. Stage gamma disalignment.
What?
You heard me.
Okay, this episode has been long enough, so I'm going to save and end it for now. That's all for this one, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!